Welcome to the second episode of the Before the Blowup podcast. Today is January 25th, 2022. Happy Tuesday. And as always, we start with our quotes, which Joey will be given first.
My quote of the day is by Michael Jordan. Some want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and then some make it happen. And I feel like we're all in the situation, no more wanting, no more wishing. Let's make this shit happen.
My quote is think too much, feel too little. I feel like people overthink way too much and I think they should just let their gut speak sometimes.
I haven't heard that one. I didn't know that was your lock screen. That's a pretty good one. That I never heard that before. But I think it's good for you to have it as your lock screen because your whole thing is with overthinking.
Yeah.
Right? It makes sense. No,
exactly. It makes sense.
Like all of us do it, but he talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
And for me, it's in a year from now, do you really want to be saying you wish you started today? Which obviously that's not the case for us. We started this yesterday. So we're not putting things off right now. We're getting after it. But to go back to Eric's quote, what place are you in with that right now? Where are you with overthinking right now?
I mean, I think overthinking with me has been a big thing, nonstop for a while. I'm getting better with it, but I still overthink in a lot of situations. But I'm also learning to control my emotions where I can, instead of overthinking and use my mind too much, I can kind of control my emotions and just let my passion and my just how I feel for that, for a certain thing, instead of just going way too over the top, you know what I mean? Overthinking all the time. So I think using my emotions is a lot better than overthinking, especially now because I've been able to conquer it more. But that's how I feel with it now. I'm still overthinking sometimes, but I've definitely gotten better with it.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with trusting your gut, your natural instinct. People always tell you the first option you think it was probably the right option. That's usually, for most cases, true. You just got to trust yourself in the option that makes the most sense for you. But also it's sometimes, and I want to know your guys' opinion. Do you guys believe that sometimes making the bad decision is a good decision, something that will necessarily be negative in the moment will end up becoming a positive in the future?
I think there is benefit to making poor decisions because you're able to learn from it in the future. But I also don't think in the moment, if you know it's a poor decision, you should do it just for the fact that, or the big thing for me when I hear that is what I would do in the past is I would do something negative and then I would look to justify it by saying, I learned from it. So it's okay that I did that. It's not really. It's good that it happened so I can learn from it. It's also not something that can happen again just so I could say, but I'll get better from this, So justifying wrong behavior is not the right path to go down, but also
I just want to know your opinions
backwards.
I just want to know your opinions on it because I actually had this conversation with my sister and she had a whole spiel about how all the negatives this shit is she's trying to justify everything, and I was nah, you'll see one day why it's bad and why it's negative.
Yeah. What about you?
I completely agree with you. I think you shouldn't want to do a negative thing, and I think it's just you learn from it once it happens, but you should never want to do that negative thing. You should always think positively or doing that the better option, you know what I mean?
Right. And then I want to hear Joey, I want to hear your thoughts on this because Eric and I talked about it real quick before you hopped on. Yesterday after 4:00, which is about when I made my post, my day fell apart completely. And it's not because of the post, it's because I'm struggling with following through consistently. I in everything, it doesn't matter if it's relationships, whatever, or it used to be in just sports, following through on a throw or on my swing, everything. Follow through is always something I struggle with. And then Eric was saying the same thing, goes, my second session, it went to shit. It wasn't good. So after 3-4 o'clock yesterday, second half of the day, did your day stay consistent or did it drop off?
Wait, hold on. I have to turn you. I know this is embarrassing. My notifications, I never turned off. Hold on.
I'll speak for him. I think I lost a lot of focus throughout the day. That's why I don't think it was because like it just went to complete shit. I just think I lost a lot of focus, which didn't make me like it didn't help with the follow
That was,
through the
that
rest of the day.
was
But once 4 o'clock hit and that second training session hit, it was just a complete lack of like focus. Like I wasn't locked in like I was the first like in the morning, like we were. But yeah, and like what were you saying right after 4, it was just not the same.
Yeah.
for me, I mean, I was working, so it was like I was kind of like just not in the mood. But um, actually, it was kind of the opposite. Like, but earlier for me, I wasn't really locked in, and I just wasn't having like it wasn't even like bad things were happening. I just wasn't feeling it, and I feel like you could tell like in the podcast, like I was a little out of it. My video could have been better, so instead, like I got this burst of motivation, like I saw like you succeed and like I saw my video and I was like, all right, like this is what I gotta do better. So I woke up this morning and honestly I was just like, yeah, like I'm gonna like I need to do better. Like I need to fix this and fix that. So I kind of took it as my negatives as a positive and I was like, all right, like let's work. Like it's time. Like, gotta get back in the gym, get to work and make better videos, make better quality, do what I personally think is best, like what I'm good at, which I've been doing today, and you'll see in the video later, like just my own type of flavor. So I kind of took a step back, like what we were talking about yesterday, and I was like, all right, like I was in the moment, trying so hard to force it. Like, nah, I gotta relax, like let it happen, like flow state. And today I'm very in flow state. I feel really good. After 4 though, yeah, like I felt like crap the whole time because I was just not feeling it. Like yesterday was not it. But when I got home, I was like, all right, I gotta do better tomorrow and get back to it.
I'm, I'm kind of glad it happened because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's better to realize it now, like, oh, the process isn't perfect. So I'm kind of glad that I realized, like, I saw
Progress
it
over
yesterday, and now I can get through it for like the future.
perfection.
Yeah, that's the same mindset I had this morning. Where I was like, all right, if I'm gonna have a tough time, let it be at the beginning because it gives me more time to learn from it,
Exactly.
be able to be
Exactly.
at a higher level
And
going.
it's crazy though. It's crazy though because like you could say like our videos weren't top notch, bro. Your videos still went crazy, and like
Yeah.
that's crazy to me. Like good shit, boy.
Yeah, but then that's why I want to talk about it now, and I might make a separate video about it later about how the day fell apart because when people see someone striving for a goal, like the whole point of what we're doing is to be able to encourage people and inspire people to do the same thing, right? To be able to chase their dream. But when social media, for whatever reason, has turned into something that I don't think it was ever meant to be, where people only show the best side of themselves, and then it makes it difficult when you see someone in person, or it makes it difficult for anybody else watching to relate or to be able to tell themselves they can do the same thing because they know all their imperfections. And then they see all these great sides of somebody else and it doesn't make sense to them. Like, is that person really not struggling? They just grind all day. And I want to make a video saying like, yeah, I said, this is
It's
going to
not like that.
get.
And if you're watching this, like I want people to know, like this shit's not easy. It's not like no one said this shit was gonna be easy. It's not like we just make these videos and we work and it's like light work. We wake up in the morning. We're just like normal people. We don't want to wake up. Like we feel like shit all the time. Like
Yep.
good things happen. We feel like shit. Like it's
Yep.
very normal, especially like like they know the obvious, like, we haven't gotten our opportunities and all that. But even when things are going our way, like it doesn't mean we feel good. We're human. And I think that's something that everyone in this world has to realize. And I think that's what social media has messed up, as you were saying. Like people have this idea of perfection. But as we always say, progress over perfection. Nobody wants to go through step by step, tiny steps at a time. And I think that's the biggest problem right now. And I'm like, it's kind of like got me in shock because it's like you're a kid, you're growing up, and you see like all these people, and you want to be that. But now that I'm at the age where I'm like I don't want to be anybody but myself, and I think it's the same for you guys. Like I think a lot of people are stuck like looking at other people, expecting them to have that perfection, but nobody's perfect, and nobody has that perfect life.
I used to I used to hear something. I heard someone say this. They said practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanence. And that's just like being consistent every day and just working to get better and like keep on growing. It's not for you to be perfect every single training session. Not every training session is going to be perfect. It's just a fact. It's not going to be the most amazing thing. No, you have to like learn. You're going to fail. You're going to fuck up a bunch of times. And then that's what creates permanence. And you get better from that.
It's crazy because, yeah. What's it? What were you gonna say?
Bro, that has changed so much for me. I don't know exactly what Kobe Bryant video, post, whatever it was, but he was saying something like he seems like invincible, right? Like I know he passed away now, rest in peace, but like when he was playing, like
Doesn't
he
feel
seemed like he was never in a bad, he never seemed like he wasn't locked in, right? And then I heard him saying something like, nah, I show up and some games I don't even want to play. I don't even want to be in the arena. My knee's killing me. This is killing me. I'm not in the mood. I'm thinking about something else that's going on. I don't feel like being here, and I still show up. And hearing that first like shocked me because I have this idea that he's like never not locked in, and that shook me. And then also it's changed everything for me where now today I had a good workout. It's like 6, 7 out of 10. It wasn't amazing workout. It wasn't my best workout, but knowing that how I was planning on working out, the time I was giving myself and how I felt going into it, I still rather have that 67, 70% workout than not go. Because that's still progress towards my goal, regardless if it's 120% or if some days it's even 30%, you know?
I feel like, oh, you told me.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I feel like, especially with me, I used to chase perfection, and I feel like some people are scared to not be perfect and fail, which is why people don't want to go through that. And that used to be a problem with me. I always wanted to be perfect in everything I do, and now I'm realizing that it's okay to fail a lot more, and to like and not be perfect. And that's like one of the best things I've learned so far. So it's good. It's good knowing that.
For me, it's like I feel like being truly locked in is being able to like tell yourself like the days you don't feel like that's being locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, there's those days you feel like a dog and it's easy, but the days where it's hard and you're like that's being locked in. Like that's why Kobe is who he is. Like, and you know me, like I love Kobe to death. Like I got his shoes, like he's my guy. But like he's the one who really motivated me to like wake up in the morning, like 4 a.m., bright and early, like fucking push my ass off. Because dude, like there's plenty of time for sleep. And I know we value sleep. There's plenty of time for naps. There's plenty of time. You could fit that shit in. Like I heard someone say some shit, and this is not really like mental health, but it's like if you get 3 hours of sleep and wake up at 4, but then you go back home and then you just sleep for another 3 hours, that's 6 hours of sleep. So that's what I would be doing. And me and my trainer, we put the time in, we put the work in. And especially during surgery, that's when I started to like, and that's when I got like my locked in, man. Oh, bro, that was a scary motherfucker, bro. Like the injured Joey was scary, bro. Because I would be injured, not feeling it, like still waking up in the morning, having people drive me because I couldn't drive because I had no knee. So I'd be like, yo, you got to fucking take me to training. Like, I need to go to training. I would like beg my parents in the morning, like, wait, like, let's fucking go. They would never take me. So I had to get a ride from someone I'd be training with. Like, I was like doing different type of shit. And now that's like, the problem with that was it was so negative and I was pushing myself too hard. Now that I found that balance, like I figured it out. And I feel like when you're mentally stable and physically stable and you combine both, that's when you've truly locked in.
Like when you're waking up early, and I feel like everyone should go through this at some point, like there's a difference between waking up knowing that someone's going to be there with you. So you're waking up to something, but there's waking up when you're feeling like shit and you don't have to go to the workout because no one's going to be there. It's just you and you have to wake up alone. That's the hardest thing. Because there's been days for me where I didn't want to wake up and I slept in like 2 more hours and I worked out later and I lost those 2 hours and I didn't feel good about myself. But when I wake up now, I'm able to wake up alone every single day and fight through the fact that like I feel like shit. I don't want to go work out. I don't want to go train, but I have to do it because that's what I'm doing. Right, like that's what it's gonna take for me to get to the next level. So
yeah, I only work out by myself. I really like, I like hanging out with people. I don't like working out with people because
Have you ever had to
I
wake up where like you had someone to like you had to go work out with someone? Have you ever done that? Or no. Like
no.
you had to wake up because someone was going to be there. You know what I mean?
Only time was football practice, but that's
Yeah.
a little different.
That's
but
good, bro. That's good.
like I did have that, but then even then I would make sure I got there an hour before everybody so I could start running miles
Yeah.
before it even started. So that like I need to be by myself most of the time to be truly locked in, because I'm like a for the most part, I'm a lighthearted, like I'm an easy person to go be around. Like you say we're going here, I'm like, all right, sure, as long as it's not like some crazy shit. But now I'm pretty chill, easygoing. And then when I want to be in the gym and I'm locked, like I don't want to come off as disrespectful, but I also don't want to talk. Like I'm just here. I'm having full on like the gym for me, like I have more of a mental workout every time I'm in the gym than I have a physical workout. I'm in my head pushing myself. Like there's so much going on every time. Like it's so I don't want to interrupt that rhythm. And I also do want to put the strain on myself that you do need to do this by yourself, because there's not always going to be someone there, because I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm vulnerable to relying on somebody else to be there, because then if they drop off, now I'm screwed. Like I don't like doing that to myself. But eventually I'll get back into it. Like once I have teammates and I'm playing pro and I have people who I can 100% count on, or I have a group of people, so I know there's multiple different people, so there's always going to be someone, I might get back into that, because it's also better working out with people. If you're going to be playing with them, it's better to have that chemistry. But at the same time, for right now, for where I'm at right now, I'm very happy with how I have it.
No, yeah, I think of it like, for me, I don't mind working out with certain people. Like everything I've learned about lifting and some of basketball training, I would say a lot of that is self-taught, but most of well, training wise, I like training with my trainer and like maybe one other person, because I enjoy learning from people a lot. Most of those things, like I said, I've learned from other people, like my friends, like Eric, stuff. They've taught me a lot about lifting because I've lifted with them. And I can't imagine doing my process by myself before. Now I can lift alone and I'm happy. I like lifting alone more, but I don't mind lifting with my friends, because every time I lift with them, I'll learn something new and it's good. You have that positive like person right next to you. You guys motivate each other, and like especially on max out days, like that's fun, like having your boys standing right next to you, like to be with you for like, I think that's fun and I enjoy it. And basketball wise it's different. Basketball wise, I love being in the gym alone with nobody around, bumping music, doing my thing, because that's my passion, that's my love. I just want to stay, like I could stay there all day if I wanted to. But you know there's certain times you have to make yourself comfortable with other people, take a step back and, let people teach you, let people guide you to a different direction and give you a different type of view on what you're doing. Like basketball wise, my whole life, like I was training with these people, I would do it alone and I wasn't getting any better. I opened my mind up to new methods of training, new people, and I never thought it would work. And now look at me, like I'm actually becoming a lot more successful, getting more athletic, and I never thought I'd be where I'm at. So I think you have to let yourself be a little vulnerable to people, take a step back sometimes and put in the work. But ultimately, like being locked in, if you can't do it yourself, you shouldn't, you need to be able to do it yourself. Cause like you said, you won't always have your best friends next to you. Like I'm not always working out with Eric and stuff. I had to put the work in alone. I won't always have my trainer, especially if I move far away. I'm going to be alone and it's going to be all about me. So you can't make it all about being with somebody. You gotta, have that push for yourself.
I completely agree. I think back what James was saying, like when I'm in the gym, sometimes I'm so locked in, even when Joey's there, like there'll be times me and Joey just dap each other up and we don't talk for at least
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes and we just start working out. Like I remember going back to Kobe, what he said. He was like, when he's in that cage, when he's in that beast mentality, he doesn't want anyone talking to him, no one bothering him, and it's just straight work. Like even today, like yesterday, I think the second session went so bad because I was having a little too much fun and it was too much goofing around and I lost focus. This morning session, when I just had with my friend, I said, "What's up, bro? Let's go." And we didn't talk for 30 minutes and it was just straight work. And that's when the focus came in. And that's gonna happen the second session, third session. It's okay to be goofy and have fun sometimes, but there's always a limit to like how you should be goofy and when you should be goofy.
Right. There's gotta be a balance. And that's honestly the hardest part, because we can't necessarily give advice on exactly how each person should go about their workout, how each person, what the balance is for them. For some people, it's going to be working out 2-3 times a day. Other people, it's going to be working out 1 to 2 times a day. Someone's going to be with friends, someone's going to be without. That's why I think it's good that all three of us are talking about this, because we're all in our different sports. We're not necessarily all trying to look the same. We're not all trying to have the same build, because we have different purposes. Like our bodies my body should not be the same as Eric's body, because Eric plays soccer and I play football. It should be different. It's gonna be different.
Yeah.
So, and the way we go about it is different too. So I think it can provide a lot of value to people hearing that it can be done in a lot of different ways. There's not only one way to do things, but there definitely is a need for each person to find their version of their balance, like what works for them specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's like your biggest focus has to be yourself. Like listening to like a lot of people growing up, Michael Jordan, like it's that GOAT mentality. Like you look at Michael Jordan, Kobe, all these high level players, like they all just separate themselves. Like they come off as assholes, and you could say whatever you want, but look at the rings. You got Michael Jordan with 6, you got Kobe with 5. Like success, it's right there. You could see it. So you call them assholes then, but you see he's getting you a ring and he's getting you a ring. If you're a teammate, like you can't even say anything, because at that point, what is he doing wrong? His goal is to win a championship. And I remember I saw in The Last Dance, Michael Jordan said, anybody on his team, and Kobe I think said it too, if you're on the team and your goal isn't to win a championship, I don't want you there. Like, that's what they wanted. Their goal is to win a championship. So if that means they have to take people out, and we've talked about this, like in life, certain people you got to like limit yourself around and take out of your life, because they're not going to get you where you need to be. And it comes off as an asshole move, but sometimes you have to make selfish decisions that'll benefit you in your future.
100%. No, you definitely, it's a tough thing, and it is circumstantial, but and it also doesn't necessarily need to be fully cutting people out. Some people, you just need to limit them. It's not that they're negative for you. They might just be a distraction. So limiting them can be the option sometimes. Some people you just got to get rid of completely. You can't ever talk to, it's depends. That's why it's so hard to give general advice to people. And that's why, for the most part, we're just talking about the way that we do things, because I don't expect anybody to listen to our podcast and say, I'm going to do every single thing Joey does. I'm going to do every single thing. Like, that's not the way to go about it, because you're not us. We're not you. So thinking about it in a way where, all right, he said one thing that I like, but then he said something that I'm going to do and I don't agree with, so I think that's the way to go about it. We got like 1 or 2 more minutes if you guys want to give your last thoughts.
Joey?
James, but like you said, like I feel like like we say it all the time, like if you're watching, like you deep down know when someone or something is not good for you.
Yep.
And if it doesn't feel right, a girlfriend, a best friend, even sometimes family members, and I know that sounds hurtful, but sometimes you got to limit yourself around them. You gotta you gotta take them out of your life, and you gotta do what's best for you. And I mean, like I said, the last thing I'm gonna say is like, so if you're watching this, like, and something's bad for you, you should probably limit it or cut it out.
Yeah, no, it's a sacrifice you gotta make.
James,
bro, what you guys doing, bro? But I completely agree with Joey. Like, it's a sacrifice you gotta make, and it's gonna suck. Like, yeah, you definitely like having someone in your life for a little bit of time, and you have to sacrifice not being around them because it just. Why are you laughing, bro? You have to sacrifice because you're not like it's just how it has to be to get better.
Yeah, I would say the most important thing with that is just having the self-awareness to know the difference between a want and a need. There's a very big difference between saying that I need someone, I need this person in my life, they're so important to me, and saying I really want this person in my life because it brings comfort. There's a very, very big difference between wanting comfort and needing the support that someone's able to bring. Because some people are only able to bring you comfort. They're able to bring you like moments of distraction away from what you have going on, but they're not able to provide you the love and support that you need in tough moments. They're only there when shit's easy. Those are the people you either got to limit or cut. And it is a tough decision 100%, but I truly don't believe there's anyone I spend real time with that I can't call when shit hits the fan. When shit is at its worst, I don't have a single person where I'm like, yeah, I see them all the time, but I wouldn't be able to call them for this. That's just not how I run shit. There's certain people I hang out with occasionally that mainly for fun, like we're just chilling, we won't talk about real stuff. Those aren't the people I can really text. I just can't have people in my circle like that. So that's all I got. You guys got anything else, or we chilling?
That's it, man. That's it. I'm in you, yo. I'm James. You guys.
No.
See.